Good evening, everyone. Good evening and Jai Hind. I hope I am properly audible and visual to everyone. Good evening and Jai Hind. So, in the last week, I think we have continued at this time at 7 p.m. And like I said, you that we are going to continue in this week also at the same timing, 7 p.m. Okay. So, after that, yes, we will probably switch back from November. I think we will switch back to the original time of 5. So, how is everyone? How are you doing? I hope you have enjoyed the weekends. Okay, ethics classes are also going on. Yeah, I can understand. So, how is everything? Parmar, for that, you can check once with the website. You can check once on the website, and once it is announced, it will be made very much announced. It will be there on the website itself. Once it is announced, it will be there. Yeah. Yes. So, good evening. Now, so we have discussed a few topics in the last session, in the last week also, and we have talked about Supreme Court judges also. We have talked about other factors also, or even we have seen that Citizenship Amendment Act also. So based on all these things, today we are going to solve some questions as well. Okay. We are going to see these three topics today. One is government versus the state government. Okay. One thing which we are going to discuss is governor versus the state government. That is one issue which we are going to discuss. Second thing is the Dana cyclone which is there. It is there in Odisha. So that is one thing which we will discuss. Third thing is Quad group. They have got this Malabar exercise. So that is also something which we are going to discuss. Okay. These three topics are there which we are going to discuss as of today. About the strategy, okay, I will come to that in the last. Do remind me to talk about a strategy in the last. I will definitely talk about it. Okay. So first let us go through some of the topics which are there. We will talk about cyclone today. So I have one question for you. This is from 2020. So this question is: jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. Only some cyclone develop an eye. The temperature inside the eye of cyclone is nearly 10 degree lesser than that of its surrounding. So this is one question, and you have to tell me that which of the statements are correct. I'm also doing quite good, Anjali. Thank you for asking. So tell me about this question. I think you all have gone through these topics by now. So tell me about this one. One thing is jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. Second is saying only some cyclones develop an eye. Third is saying the temperature inside the eye of a cyclone is nearly 10 degree less than that of the surrounding. So one answer I am getting is A option. Another answer is B. Quite opposite answers. And another answer is C. Okay. Now anyone you can give me answer D also. Achha, it's you have okay. A, B, C, and Krishna also says option A. This I saying option C. Okay. Anyone else? B option. Okay. See, the first statement is saying jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. Second is saying only some cyclones develop an eye. Third is saying the temperature inside the eye of a cyclone is nearly 10 degree less than that of its surrounding. Is it less or is it more? Is it less or is it more? In the eye of the cyclone, the temperature is less or more? Tell me about this. in the eye of the cyclone, the temperature is less or more? It is going to be more. It is not going to be less. It is going to be more. It is going to be greater. Okay. So there is subsistence of the air. There is subsistence in the eye of a cyclone, and we'll find that there is going to be more temperature over there. Okay. So what we see that this there it is saying that 10 degree less. So this option third is incorrect. It is saying the temperature inside the eye is less 10 degrees. That is an incorrect statement. First is saying jet streams occur in north hemisphere also only. That is an incorrect statement. Jet streams are occurring in north as well as south hemisphere. So first and third statements are incorrect. The correct answer here will be C option. That is 2 only. The third option is correct. Sorry, the third option is the third statement is incorrect. Hence the answer will be B. That is 2 only. See another question. I think this is one question from 2015 and a very close question. Actually, it is a very much close question. The question is, in the South Atlantic and Southeastern Pacific regions in tropical latitudes, cyclones do not originate. So, what is the reason? Why we do not have the origin of cyclones in the South Atlantic and Southeastern Pacific Ocean in the tropical regions also? The first option is saying sea surface temperatures are low, intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs, Coriolis force is too weak, absence of land in these regions. Now, generally, when you are reading these topics, you will find that almost all, if you even remove this one, like let me give you a 50-50 or like 1/3, you can easily eliminate this one. Okay. Now I have three options: sea surface temperature, intertropical convergence zones, and absence of land. On the basis of this, now you have to give the answer. So what will be the answer here in the second question? What will be the answer here in second question? I'm getting a few answers as option B. Intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs. I hope all of you, I think that all of you have gone through this. Yes. So this is a very close question. Like normally you will find that in South Atlantic, the other factors are also there. Like for example, absence of land in these regions, that is also there. Sea surface temperatures are also comparatively low. But at the same time, the main cause here is, of course, the intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs in this region. And that's why we do not have the origin of tropical cyclones in this region. So yes, the answer here is B option. Intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs, and hence we are not getting the cyclones over here. Okay, so this was a closed question. Even if you are going for A option or D option, you will find that in many of the books, or generally when you are reading about the cyclones, all these factors play a role. Even the A option plays a role, the D option also plays a role. But when this question was asked, even the official answer of UPSC was option B. So it was a very close question. That was, I am saying that the options are too much close. Okay, but here the answer is B. Now coming to this question, and I think you all know about the governor and their role in our country. Okay, in our the different states and all. So here there is a question: the governor makes a customary address to the members of House at the commencement of first session of the year. Second is saying, when a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. So this is also a question where the UPSC is trying to play with the words. It is trying to play with the word. It is trying to check whether you are going for the real understanding of the topic or not. Okay. So here the first option is saying, the governor makes a customary address to the members of the House at the commencement of the first session of the year. Second is saying, when a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. So what would be the answer? This is question number 3. What would be the answer here? One answer I'm getting from Avnish, that is A. Anyone else? A option. Get 3 options as A, 2 options as C. First is saying the governor makes a customary address to the members of House at the commencement of the first session of the year. Second is saying when a state legislature doesn't have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. So I think everyone agrees that this first statement is correct. I think all of you agree that this first statement is correct. You might have seen it multiple times that whenever a new assembly is there, or at the beginning of the year also, there is a customary address by the governor. So of course, and even in the Lok Sabha by the president. So that is true. Okay. Now the second is when a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. Now some of you have gone with option A also, some of you have gone with option C. So see here one thing. See, you have to understand a very important part that when we are talking about India, we have got this division of power, and union and state, they are two different entities. They are not bound by each other. They are not like following each other. They are having their own origin. They have their own like representation, and they are representing the people. They are not representing the Lok Sabha. That is not a subsidiary of Lok Sabha. The state legislative assembly is not a subsidiary, or not like it is not something which is subordinate to the Lok Sabha. It has its own power, it has its own customs, it has its own traditions, it has its own rules. So if suppose that if they don't have a rule on any particular matter, the rule will be made by the speaker of the house. It will not be done by simply following what is being done in Lok Sabha. It will be done by the speaker of that legislative assembly. So this second option here is incorrect. The correct answer will be A option, that is one only. Okay. Now coming to the next question, which one of the following statement is correct? In India, the same person cannot be appointed as a governor for 2 or more states at the same time. Second is saying the judges of the High Court of the states in India are appointed by the governor of state, just as the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the president. The third is saying no procedure has been laid down in the Constitution of India for the removal of a governor from his or her post. And in the case of a union territory having a legislative setup, the chief minister is appointed by the lieutenant governor on the basis of the majority support. So you have to tell which of them is correct. We have discussed these statements in previous classes also. Okay. We have discussed some of these statements in the previous classes. You have to tell which one is correct. First one is saying in India the same person cannot be appointed as a governor for 2 or more states at the same time. Second is saying judges of High Court are appointed by governor of state. Third is saying no procedure for removal of governor. And fourth is saying in case of union territory having a legislative setup, the chief minister is appointed by LG. So answers are A also, B also, D also, C also. A, B, C and D. Okay. The majority of people are going with option C. See, if you look at this statement, if you look at this question, I think majority of you are going with option A or B or C also, right? So look at this. If we look at the first statement, it says in India, the same person cannot be appointed as governor for 2 or more states at the same time. This is entirely incorrect. You might have seen multiple governors have been appointed for more than 1 state or 2 states or even more than that. So there is no such restriction. This first option here is incorrect. It is not correct, it is incorrect. Second is saying the judges of the High Court of States in India are appointed by the governor. No. We have seen through a flow chart the process of appointment of governor in India. So if you have gone through the previous sessions, you might have seen how the governors are appointed. Here this option is also incorrect. They are appointed by the president. They are appointed by the president, not the governor. Okay. Third is saying no procedure has been laid down in the Constitution of India for the removal of a governor from his or her post. So that is correct. There is no such procedure. Generally what you will find that the governors are like appointed at some place or changed from there, transferred from there, or removed from the post simply on the discretion of President of India. So the governor serves at the pleasure of the president. So this third option here is correct. There is no such procedure, no such conditions. Okay. Fourth option is in the case of Union Territory, the Chief Minister is appointed by LG. No. The Chief Minister is appointed by the President of India. LG is just representative of him. LG is responsible for carrying out various operations in the name of the President. Okay. So here the fourth option is also incorrect. The answer is C, that is no procedure. Okay. So that is one part. With reference to Constitution of India, consider the following statement. No High Court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law to be constitutionally invalid. Okay. Current affairs classes, yes, it is done from Monday to Friday, Krishna. We are doing this current affairs only. We will solve some question and then we will come to the topic. Okay. So here the question is, no High Court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law to be constitutionally invalid. Second is saying, an amendment to the Constitution of India cannot be called into question by the Supreme Court of India. Okay. So in this question, which of them are correct or incorrect? Which of them are correct? Which of them are correct? One answer coming, three answers as D. One answer as B also. So, can you tell me in question number 5, what will be the correct answer? We have just started the class. Just see these questions and then we will start it. Okay. D option. I think so all of you know this, that no High Court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law. That is incorrect. High Court can do that. And even in second question, an amendment to Constitution can be easily called by the Supreme Court into question. So these two statements are incorrect. The answer here will be, of course, D option. Okay. So these were some of the questions which we were trying to practice on the basis of topics which we have discussed even in the previous classes, and something which we are going to discuss in today's session as well. Okay. So let's start with the topic. Let's start with the topic. The first topic is this governor versus state government. So what is the context? You might have seen that in Tamil Nadu, there is a rift going on between the governor of the state and even the elected chief minister there. So there is a continuous tussle between governor and chief minister at multiple times. So what is the source of this contention and what are the powers of governor? Let us try to examine this. We will not look into this the political angle. We will try to see the powers of the governor and also this issues with the role of the governor. Okay. So let us see this. Now, can you tell me one thing? There is one thing called as discretionary power of the governor. There is one thing called as discretionary power of governor. So can you tell me what are the discretionary power and in what situation the governor is having the discretionary power? Okay. If there is any provision in our constitutional amendment against basic structure, that can be questioned. That is true, Avnish. So tell me this part. Tell me this part, like if we are talking about India, what are the discretionary power of governor? What are the different discretionary power of the governor? Can you tell me? Power to reserve the bill for president assent. Okay, that's fine. Any other thing? Pocket veto. Okay, pocket veto in case of no majority has the power to call any political party to make government. Okay, fine. Discretionary means the one which can be taken without any interference from the elected government. Means the one which the governor can decide normally on his own. Now you normally know that even in state, what we have two things. One, we have governor. We have one thing called as governor, and then we have elected government. Okay, elected government. So normally in most of the cases, the governor has to act on advice of council of ministers. Okay, so even the governor is bound to act on the advice of council of minister, but in some cases the governor has got some discretionary power, means he can act on certain things without even taking the advice of the council of minister. So let us try to see what are those options. Let us try to see that. One of the thing is discretion in appointment of CM in case of hung assembly. Means suppose that if there is no such political party, having full majority or full confidence, then in that situation the governor is having this discretionary power that they can decide whether they can they will be appointing as the chief minister. So there is one discretion, that is an appointment of CM only in case of hung assembly. If there is a party which has got full majority, then governor cannot do anything. Then governor do have to appoint the same person who represents the largest political party, or the political party who has got this most of the support or support of the half of the people. That person only will be appointed as CM. But in case of hung assembly, when no one has clear majority, then in that case the CM has got the discretion. Second discretion, that is in terms of dissolution of state assembly in case in hung session or in hung assembly. Hung assembly again means that no party has got full support. There also the governor will have this power to go for dissolution of the state legislative assembly on his own wish. Normally the governor can dissolve a state legislative assembly on the advice of the council of minister. But suppose that there is no such full majority, there is a hung assembly. In that situation the governor will have the power to go for dissolution of the legislative assembly and going for election. So that is also one of the power. The third thing is imposition of precedent rule. So here the governor recommends, the governor is recommending. So there also the governor has this power that they can recommend the imposition of precedent rule in a particular state. Now that recommendation which is being provided by the governor, that falls under the discretionary power of the governor. So that is also one of the discretionary role. Apart from this, you will find that also what other discretion are there? Other power, okay. Reserving a bill, reserving a bill which is required, which is required to get presidential assent, presidential assent. So suppose that not all the bill, not all the bill, but there may be certain type of bill which requires the presidential assent or the presidential permission, and those bills can be reserved by the governor for the presidential assent or for the getting the assent from the president. So that comes under their jurisdiction. Okay. So for those bills only they get this. For other any bill, for any other bill, they do not require, or they do not have this discretion to have or hold a bill. They can hold a bill only and only if it has to get the presidential assent, otherwise they cannot hold it. So that is also something which is part of it. Okay. So normally within a state, they have got this discretionary power. Now suppose that there is a person who is a governor of any state. Let us say that there is a person who is governor of Maharashtra, and he has also been given the charge of, let us say, Union Territory of Daman and Diu. Understand this question, I am asking it from you. That let us say there is a person who is the governor of Maharashtra, and that same person has been given the charge of becoming the governor of any such union territory, let us say Daman and Diu. So while he is taking any decisions with respect to Daman and Diu, will he consult with the elected government or will he act in his own discretion? Can you answer this portion? I am again repeating the question. If there is a person who is appointed as the governor of, let us say, Maharashtra, and he has also been given charge as governor of Daman and Diu, which is a union territory. Now in that situation, if he has to take any decisions with respect to Daman and Diu, will that be under his discretionary power or will that be on the basis of advice of Council of Ministers? What will be there? Act on the discretion or Council of Ministers? Will act on his discretion. Yes. So I think you all understand this part, that if he has to take the decisions with respect to any other union territory, that will be in his own discretionary power. For that, no. Do understand this. For the union territory, the elected government is not representing the union territory. Like, let us see, for example, a person X, he is also the governor of Maharashtra, and he is also given the charge of governor of Daman and Diu. So this entire governance of Daman and Diu will be his own discretionary power. It will be under his entire discretionary power. It will be all under his discretionary power. Now suppose the same person has been also made the LG of Delhi. Okay, let us say that, let us take another example. Here he has also been made the LG of Delhi. The same person can be given charge also. Now in this case, since Delhi has also a legislative assembly, now he will not have the entire discretionary power. That will be limited discretionary power. And in case of governor of being Maharashtra, he will again have limited discretionary power. But in this case, he will have the full discretionary power. So it depends on what is the nature of the state, what is the nature of union territory. It depends on that also. So if the same person is governor of different states, he will enjoy different discretionary power. I hope that is clear. I hope this is clear why he will have different discretionary power. Okay. So this is one thing. Now this discretionary power is always a source of contention. Okay. Discretionary power as a source of contention. As a source of contention. Okay. So see here one thing, that this discretionary power of the governor has been a source of contention. Why? The states what they allege, states allege too much interference by governor. See, the role of governor is not governance. Do understand one thing, governor of any state, he is just like a nominal head of the state. The governor of a state is not chosen to look after day to day administration of the state. If he feels that day to day administration cannot be run by a government, elected government, then he can go for, or he can ask for dissolution of the state assembly, or he can ask for imposition of president rule. But the governor in our constitutional setup is not designed to interfere in day to day activities. The governor is just there for being a nominal head. Apart from that, he has no other duty. But it has been said by multiple states that there is too much interference by governor from time to time. Okay, so that is one of the allegation. Second thing is that has been a perpetual criticism of the governor, that governor acts as agent of union. That governor is acting as the agent of union. They are just trying to protect the interest of the union government. So that is always a perpetual criticism. That has been a perpetual criticism of the governor since the time immemorial. From the very beginning, it has been there. Okay. Now the third thing is, there is also one very important part about this governor, that governor has been multiple times they have been misusing the options of imposing president rule, okay, or recommendation for imposition of president rule. Recommendation for press rule has been misused several times. So that has also been an issue. Many a times the judiciary has reinstated the government which has been uprooted or which has been dismissed by the governors. So it shows that the state is suffering. Due to the wrong decisions of the governor. So that has also been one of the major contentions with respect to discretionary power of the governor. There are other issues also, like the way the governor is elected, the way they are removed from their post. Okay, so all these issues are also there, but here we are mostly talking about the discretionary power. Okay, now the thing is, what is the way forward? What is the way forward? What is the way forward? The first thing is, there must be a codification of the discretionary power as far as possible. Okay, codification of discretionary power to make it less arbitrary. See, there is a very simple thing. Like if we look at our constitutional provision, we see that constitution provides the constitution provides this power of discretion for the governor, that he can choose who to appoint the chief minister when there is a case of hung assembly. Whenever there is a case of hung assembly, in that situation, what we see that the governor has been given this power to choose one of the people who is demanding that they can prove majority. So there is a written thing. You can do it only in case of hung assembly. You cannot do it if the party is in full majority. So in the same manner, wherever there is a chance of this discretionary power, we can codify it so that it can become less arbitrary. Discretionary power of governor doesn't mean that he can just do anything if something comes to his mind. Discretionary power here means that he will act without the advice of council of minister, but he cannot act simply anything or in any absurd manner. He has to act within the constitutional domain, within the constitutional ambit. So for that we need codification of discretionary power to make it less arbitrary. Second thing what we see that the appointment and removal process of governor needs modification. See, the issue of governor is becoming a too much challenging issue for our federalism. If we want our federalism to exist, or if we want our federalism to become more and more mature, then this challenge with respect to governor has to be done away with at the earliest. Okay. So appointment and removal of those persons, appointment and removal of the governor needs modification. There must be a say of the state government or other institutions in the appointment and removal of governor. Third thing is trend of appointment of politically active people as governor needs to be addressed. Nowadays what we are seeing, that many of the governors, they seem that they are acting in such a manner that they seem that they are participating in the elections. Governors are not participating in elections, and they should be acting like that. They are not the real representative of the people over there. They are just the nominal head of the state. The real head will be the elected government. Okay, so they don't have to go for the popular opinion, or they don't have to go for the popular will. They have to be a politically neutral person, or if not political neutral, at least be politically inactive person. Those who are appointed as president or those who are appointed as governor in India, they have to be politically neutral or politically inactive. So that is also something which is required in case of governor. Okay, I hope that is clear. I am good. What type of governor's discretionary power mentioned? I have told you some of the discretionary power only which are mentioned in the constitution. When these are the discretionary power of the governor which is mentioned in the constitution only, or according to constitutional provision only. There is no other source for the discretionary power of governor. All the discretionary power of governor arises from the constitution only. The governor has not been given power through any act. They have got all these things from the constitution only. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so now moving to the next article, that was cyclone. Okay, so we have got this cyclone in India. The name is Dana cyclone. Now we have got this cyclone in India. The name is Dana cyclone. Okay, So this is a cyclone which is going to impact the coastal areas of Odisha. Okay. I ask, can remove governor office for constitution? See, governor has their own role, but in our constitutional setup, if we are removing the governor also, then also there are going to be challenges. So we cannot remove the post as such, but we can have modification under there. Okay. The next thing is Dana cyclone, which is going to hit the Odisha coast. So it is originating in the Bay of Bengal region. Now I will ask question because we have discussed about this tropical cyclone many a times. So it is about my question day today. So tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. First question is, where do we have more cyclones? Where do we have more cyclones? Where do we have more cyclones? In Bay of Bengal? In Bay of Bengal? Or we are having it more in Arabian Sea? Where do we have more number of cyclones? First tell me, where do we have more number of cyclones? Is it Bay of Bengal or is it the Arabian Sea? Yes, Avnish, please ask. Eastern coast or Bay of Bengal? Okay. So I think all of you know that this Bay of Bengal has got more number of cyclones as compared to Arabian Sea. Now the question is why? Why we are having more number of cyclones over here as compared to the other regions? Why more cyclones? Why more cyclones in Bay of Bengal region? That is another question. Question number 2. Third question is the cyclone season in India. Cyclone season in India. Can you tell me what is the cyclone season in India? When do we have got the cyclones in India? When do we have the cyclones in India? Recently, UK has made the marriage age 21 by passing a bill on marriage. And if the marriage demands right under Article 21, then whom we will give preference to? If the marriage demands right under? See, states are free. States are free to make rules with respect to marriage. States can fix any age. They are under their power. Water is more warm than the Arabian Sea. Okay, because of land mass, tropical cyclone move east to west. Okay, May and June. Okay, one answer is before and after monsoon season. See, first, if we look at this question, why we are having more number of cyclones in Bay of Bengal? First thing is warmer water. Second thing is land mass. More amount of land mass is there in case of this. In case of this Bay of Bengal, we have got more amount of land mass also in this region. Arabian Sea has comparatively lesser number of land masses. So here we see that it is warmer water, more land mass also. Third thing is support from, we have also get the support from trade winds or cyclonic winds from South China Sea. From the South China Sea. So they are also helping the Bay of Bengal, the cyclones to move towards the coastal areas. Okay. So yes, of course, we have got this warmer water, land mass and all other things, which is helping this cyclone to get intensified in the Bay of Bengal region. So these are some of the factors which are helping there. And in case of Arabian Sea, it is not that much helpful in formation of cyclones. There is lower temperature also, land mass is less also, and the trade winds carry them away from India, not towards the India. So due to these factors, we see that there is lesser number of cyclones in case of Arabian Sea as compared to the Bay of Bengal. So that is one of the part. Situation of Tibetan Plateau. Okay, situation of Tibetan Plateau plays a more prominent role in monsoon, not cyclones. If we talk about the cyclone season, we see that there are two seasons, aka pre-monsoon and post-monsoon. So there is one thing called as pre-monsoon period. Pre-monsoon. So here you will find April, May. April, May, that is the time of pre-monsoon, where we are having this cyclones in part of India. Second is post-monsoon. Post-monsoon. So here we are having this in month of October, November, okay, or even October, November, December, but mostly we are having this in October to November. This is the time when we are having the cyclone season in our Bay of Bengal region. Okay, yeah. So we have got this cyclone more in our Bay of Bengal region. Second thing is why more, we have seen. Cyclone season also we have seen. Now, can you tell me like how the names are decided? Can you tell me, we have also discussed this. Can you tell me again how the names are decided of the cyclone? Who decides the name? Who is deciding the name of the cyclones? Who is deciding the name of the cyclones? So how we are getting the name of these cyclones? What is the basis? What is the principle? I think you can tell me about this one. How we are having this? World Meteorological Organization, they have got certain rules. So what are those rules? How it is being decided? 8 letters. But Dana cyclone has got 4 letters. Dana cyclone has got 4 letters only. So how these names are there? All countries are given the list of name of cyclone. See here, how the cyclones are named. Naming of cyclones. Naming of cyclones. If we talk about this, what you will find at list, names are suggested. Names are suggested by littoral countries. By littoral countries means those who are there in that area, they suggest the name of different things. Like if you are talking about this region of India or the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal region, and even the Arabian Sea region, you will find that many of the countries are there. UAE is there. Then we have also Pakistan is there, India is there, Sri Lanka is there, Maldives is there, Bangladesh is there, Myanmar is there. So all these countries, 13-14 countries are there. They give a list of names. They give a list of names. Okay. So the names are suggested by them. They provide list. And one by one, okay, one by one we see that the names are taken from this. Like first we have got 13 countries, so 13 names are taken. Then one name from each. Then we move to the next list. Then again from all the countries we choose one name. So that list is prepared, that table is prepared, and from that table the name is given. I have shown that you in the previous sessions also how the names are picked up. We have already discussed that in the future the Dana cyclone will be there. Okay, so that is one thing, that they provide the list and picking up the names from the list. Picking the name from list. Picking the name from list one by one. Okay, one by one in a sequence it goes like that. Okay, in sequential manner it goes like that. In sequence we pick the names of the cyclone. Okay, so there is no country which can decide what will be the name of this cyclone or that. They give the list and according to the cyclone they are getting named. Okay, so we don't decide it at random that this cyclone will be now called as Dana. The name has already been decided. Whatever cyclone comes, wherever it originates in the Arabian Sea or in the regions of Bay of Bengal, their names are pre-decided that what their name will be. Okay, so that is how the naming of cyclone goes around the world. Okay, I will again ask you some questions on this cyclone tomorrow. Okay. So there also we will have some questions on cyclone. Be ready for this. Go through NCRTs also. I will ask you question. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, which we have got this quad naval war games. Okay. So we have got this one exercise between the quad countries, and the exercise is Malabar exercise. The exercise name is Malabar exercise. So see here. So 4 countries, US, then we have got India, Australia and Japan. Okay. So US, India, Japan and Australia. So they have got united once again for this exercise Malabar. Okay. Earlier they have also been part of this exercise Kakaru from the Australian Navy from September. Okay. So we have got this exercise Malabar on the coast of, or near the coast of Vishakhapatnam. Can you tell me, Vishakhapatnam is on the eastern side of India or western side? I hope that you are that much aware of the map. Can you tell me on which side we have Vishakhapatnam? Eastern side or western side? I hope all of you are aware about that. Okay. So it is on the eastern side. Vishakhapatnam, yes, it is on the eastern side. Yes, correct. So we have got this Vishakhapatnam on the eastern side, and what we see that there we have got this exercise Malabar. Earlier we were also having this exercise Kakaru near this by this Australian Navy, where India and other countries have participated. Okay. So this is one of the part. Now, what more important which we have to see is, let us see some facts about this. Okay. Let us see some of the facts with respect to quad one by one. Even if this is not visible, don't worry, I will write it myself. Okay. So what we see that this quad, it was proposed in 2007. 2007 there was original proposal, and the proposal was from Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. So Shinzo Abe, who was the Prime Minister of Japan at that time, he has promoted this idea of quadrilateral security dialogue between the 4 countries, India, Japan, Australia and US. So that was proposed in 2007, but it was not finalized then. 10 years later, in 2017, at the meeting of this ASEAN, we have seen that this concept, this again started, resurrected. There was resurrection of, means rise of again of this quad in 2017 at the meeting of ASEAN. So this is one of the important angle. They ask about these things. That where we have this origin of this quad. So in 2007 there was talking about this quad, but then in 2017 it has been resurrected at the meeting of ASEAN. You know that it has got this 4 members. Those 4 members you already know the name. Now we are going to have this Quad Leader Summit 2025 in India. We are going to have this Quad Leader Summit of 2025 in India. So that's why we are having a huge talk, or we are having continuous discussion about Quad. Quad is going to be there in the news continuously now, and maybe in the next year mains examination you can have some question about this Quad. So do prepare about this also. Do prepare this topic. We will be continuously discussing about it. Like today we are only seeing where it has originated, who all are members. But gradually we will get more editorials with respect to it, and we will try to discuss that also, that the relevance of Quad for India. That is one of the part which we are going to discuss even later as well. Okay. Now there is one angle which we will still discuss. See our bilateral relations with that of Quad members. With Australia, we have got this mutual logistic support agreement. Okay, we have got this mutual logistic support agreement with Australia. We also have bilateral military exercise, for example, AUS Index and Austra Hind. So we have got two military exercises, AUS Index and Austra Hind with Australia. We have also this mutual logistic support agreement. With Japan, we have this bilateral military exercise, for example, GIMIX, Dharma Guardian, General Security of Military Information Agreement. So this is a agreement with respect to Japan. And with US, we have got a number of agreements. For example, GSOMEIA, General Security of Military Information Agreement. LEMOA is also there. Then we have got the COMCASA also and BECA also. So we have got 4 agreements with US as well. We have got other things, for example, bilateral military exercise, for example, Vajra Prahar, Yuddha Abhyas, okay, it is Yuddha Abhyas, COPE India, Tiger Triumph, etc. So these are the 3 countries with which we are having regular military exercise as well as various agreements also. So we have got a number of agreements with these countries already, and now we are taking it on multilateral level. So India is looking for a free and open or free and secure Indo-Pacific region. Indo-Pacific region. Okay. So that is our goal. Okay. Our goal, for which we are aligning with the Quad, and in upcoming sessions we will try to also evaluate what is the relevance of Quad in this. Okay, so this is one topic which we will discuss with mains angle also, but for today only this much. Okay, so tomorrow we will again meet to discuss some of the topics. I will ask you questions from more questions from governor as well as tropical cyclone. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. to discuss the remaining things. Okay, yes, there was a question from your side about the strategy, that what you should be doing now. Those who are going for prelims in 2025, now it's November. Yes, October is almost over, only 9 to 10 days, and that much days you will also be using for Deepavali and other things. So now I consider that you have got roughly around 200 days. If you have got roughly around 200 days, so start making the timeline first. Do share your timeline with me, and in upcoming days I will have a proper session on this, that how you can practice or how you can plan for the next 200 days. So in this week itself I will try to have one extra session on what to do for the next 200 days approximately. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Start reading the NCERTs at least. You have, for today I will give you at least one suggestion. Do read the NCERT of geography, environment and history. So in the next session, whenever I am doing this orientation session or type of strategy session for the next 200 days, maybe by the end of this week, so I expect that you might have read some chapters of these topics. Start with NCERTs. I will also be asking you questions from these topics. Okay, so for the next 1 month, we will have some random questions from geography, environment and history, from previous year questions or some practice question as well. So do one thing, revise these topics continuously. I will be asking you questions previous year also, some practice as well. Okay, there is a lot of backlog in optional. Make a list of 30 topics. Make a list of 30 topics, Virendra, and try to cover one of them on daily basis. Make a list of 30 topics and try to revise them or try to cover them on daily basis, and you will do it. So if you are feeling in any subject, if you are feeling a backlog, this is the time. Make a list and do it objectively. Don't plan this like I will be covering in 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, or 30 days. Make a list of the topics which are pending. Give 1 day for each topic and finish that in time. Okay. So adopt that strategy, Virendra, and you will be able to do it. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care, and let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.